Welcome to another screencast. I'm here with Dimitris Lambrinos, and we're going to walk you through a simple GitHub review process using pull requests. It's important to familiarize yourself with this process, as most of the exercises and projects you will be assigned will be reviewed using this method. It's also an opportunity to learn more about Git and GitHub. In this session, I will be playing the role of the student, and Dimitris will be the instructor. So let's get started. Dimitris, I think you should start sharing.
Okay, sure. Hey guys, from my side, I'm Dimitris, and I'm going to be the reviewer. So we are currently going to GitHub, and this is the process of the reviewer as it will be provided to you. But it's important to learn how we as the mentors do it. So in the future, you are able to do it by yourself in a real world project. So I'm here and I'm creating a repository name. I'm creating a repository, sorry, and let's say that it's a test exercise, for example, exercise. And so I'm going to make it public, and then I'm going to create a repo. Okay, so I'm stealing the URL, and I'm going to create a description for you where you are going to have the assignment. So I have to git clone the new repo I created, and I'm going to the test exercise, and I create a new README where it contains the description. Kostas, do you want me to create a simple description as, for example, create a simple function?
Yeah, something
which
like
adds
that.
to integers? Cool.
Yeah.
So create a function which adds to integers. So let me add also your test assignments. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to add this new file which I created. Cool, and then also this is an abbreviation, but it's much more efficient for you to git add instead of GA. If you want, Kostas, you can cut that. Sorry for that. Okay, and then you are going to commit that, add the README file, and then I'm going to push that to my master branch. Great. So now we're going to go to the test exercise and see that I've created a new repo where I have this reading MD where it contains the description of your assignment. This will be different in each assignment, so you are good to go with that. And Kostas, can you fork that and continue the screencast? Great.
So I'm going to share my screen now as the student. So I will have to go to the repository. Can you remind me the URL, Dimitris?
Test does exercise.
Test
exercise.
Exercise. So first I have to find the repository, and I have to fork it to create a copy.
So let me explain for a moment what fork means. Fork, if you are not aware of it, is a way of copying the exact repository to your accounts. So now that Kostas forked this repo, now he has a copy, a clone of the repository in his account currently. And he's able to change it and change the code as he wishes.
So I can do anything I want without affecting Dimitris' repository. The first thing I want to do is I want to clone the repository. So I'm getting the SSH URL from here, and I'm going to open VS Code, and I'm going to open the terminal. I'm going to head on to some folder and clone the repository. It's already on my system. I'm going to change to this folder, and I'm going to open this folder in VS Code. Now there's a new window opening. I'm also going to open the terminal. So here is the cloned repository. I can open the README file, read the instructions again. So I need to create a function which adds 2 integers. So I'm going to create a file, let's say solution.js or whatever name you prefer. I'm going to add this function, and I'm going to deliberately omit the return statement. So let's say I suppose I'm finished with this function. I'm going to check on my Git status at this point. So I'm going to add the solution.js, but I'm currently on the master branch, which is something that I don't want to do. I want to work on a new branch. So I'm going to create a new branch. I'm going to call it dev. And I'm going to work there. So I'm going to leave the main branch alone, and I'm going to work on this new development branch. So I will add the solution file, and then I will commit solution, let's say add solution, and then I'm going to git push origin dev, so that I'm going to upload this on my remote GitHub repository. So I'm good to go. I will have to switch to my repository, the GitHub. Now I can see that I have the new dev branch. Let's go to the dev branch. This is the solution. And now I'm going to do a pull request so that Dimitris can review and comment on my solution. So I'm going to go to pull requests. I'm going to select new pull request. And then I'm going to do a pull request from my repository test exercise from the dev branch, which I'm currently working on, to the master branch of my own repository. I'm not going to mess with Dimitris' main repository. So from my dev branch, I'm going to do a pull request on the master branch. Here is the code, the file that changed. I'm going to create the pull request. So I'm leaving a comment, implementing the function that adds 2 integers. And I'm going to select, no, I cannot select a reviewer right now. So I'm going to create a pull request. And I will wait for Dimitris to review my code from this pull request. So I'm going to stop sharing so that Dimitris can take on from here.
It would be better if you add me as a reviewer.
Yeah, okay. So yes, I can add Dimitris as a reviewer. So I have to go settings, manage access, and invite him as a collaborator. This is something I missed doing. This should be the first step. to add your instructors or mentors as collaborators. And now on the pull requests, as soon as Dimitris accepts the invitation, let me see. Let me know if
Yes, sure.
you have accepted. And as soon as Dimitris accepts the invitation, I can add him as the reviewer for this pull request.
Okay, so I'm okay from my side.
Let me see, I will do a refresh. Reviewers, now Dimitris is available, so I can assign him as a reviewer. And I'm going to switch over to your screen, right?
Yep.
So now the instructor is going to move on to the next step.
Okay, so what I did from my side is that I accepted the invitation to collaborate on the pull request of the students. And I'm going to check out my notifications, where I should have a notification which says that I am a reviewer in a pull request. So someone requested a review here from my side. So I'm going to go there. And as you can see, oh, sorry for that. So as you can see here, we have a pull request. The student requests to merge something from a new branch which he created to the master branch. So the idea is that we want to have only the code which is accepted by the reviewer to the master branch. So it's the code that essentially works there. And he's trying to merge the code where he created to the master branch. And here are the files. This file has an error, for example, the error which Kostas added. In this function, for example, we want to return the sum of these numbers. So I should write something like, you should return the sum of those numbers instead of logging them. Try doing turn A plus B. This is a good example of the review, and I'm going to start the review. So here, now that I've reviewed everything I wanted, then I go to finish your review, and I can either comment, either approve, or request changes. So because this code doesn't work, I instead prefer to request changes, and I'm going to write a single comment like, you are doing great. Just some minor fix to go. And then I'm going to submit a review. So as you can see, for both me and the student, here we have that an error which says that some change is requested. So from your side, you will be able to merge this pull request only when this is approved and not when changes are requested. Kostas, can you take that and solve these errors?
So I have received an email with the comment, the review comments, and all the details here on my email. So I'm going to open this on GitHub. So I have to carefully read the comments by the reviewer. You should return, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to go back to my code and fix the code to the code editor. So I'm going back to the code, and I will have to replace the console log with the return statement. And I will have to check on my status. I have a modified file. So I will add this file and then do a commit, make changes or fixes or whatever you think it's better. And then once it's ready, I'm going to push on the GitHub remote repository. I will go back to GitHub. As you will see, it's updated, and I will go here since I have made the changes, and I will hit on resolve conversation since I made the fix here. And I will wait for Dimitris to review these changes. So Dimitris, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kostas. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so let me refresh the GitHub and we see what's going on now. Cool. So as you can see, this would be an ongoing conversation where you can even comment on something if you have any problems or any questions about the review. This is very easy for you to comment your problems or any questions that you are concerned about or anything like that. So as I can see here, you have a new, oh, sorry for that. Oops. You have a new commit, and I can go to the files changed and see what Kostas changed. Here, he does indeed what the function requires. So this is a pull request, which is now done from my side. I think as a reviewer, it's perfect. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to approve this pull request. And I'm going here and I'm going to review the changes and approve that, and tell to the student that this PR is ready to go, and give an awesome candy. And then I'm going to approve that. Okay, so as you can see here, the changes are now approved. So Kostas will be able to merge that to his master branch. Kostas?
Yep.
Here you go.
So I'm going to share my screen now, and I will just do a quick refresh. And I see that now there's a green check mark, the changes are approved, and all I have to do now is merge the pull request. So confirm the merge, and all the changes will be merged from the dev branch to the master. At this point, I can delete the branch, but I will leave it because probably I would want to continue on the development of this project or this solution, this exercise later on. But now I can go to the code, and on the master branch, I can see that all the changes are now have been merged, and I get the solution. So this is a short, as you can see, process, quick and really helpful both for the instructor and the student. And we hope that this will help you on your journey to learning and mastering GitHub, and of course, learning software development. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with a next screencast. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you, guys. Kostas, can I explain something else before closing? Cool. So I wanted to mention why we prefer to do it that way in real life than adding some issues in the repository. So in that way, when we have a master branch, we are sure in real life that the master branch always works. So let's say if we push code directly to the master branch, then we are not sure that our code will be fully functional. But if we have reviewers which review everything we do and essentially review it in the exact line, for example, because now with pull request we can just add a review to an exact line, so we are sure that something works out and something is resolved. And with this sort of conversation, with this pull request, we are sure that the pull request will be done without missing anything. Then that way, by merging the pull request, which is fully reviewed by a reviewer or 2 or 3 in real life projects, then we are sure that the master branch, which will be public and deployed on some real life server or something like that in the future, we are sure that the code there works. That's why it's very important to learn this process. And from my side, I think it's simpler and it's more descriptive than adding issues in your real life. If you agree with me.
Yeah, totally. And I must say that this process applies not only to this kind of evaluation exercises, assignments, but also in real life. This is how real life projects work. And we always have like a development branch or feature branches. We work there, we try anything we want. And when we're sure that the code works and one or more reviewers have checked the code and made sure that it worked, we can merge to the master branch and deploy to production, as they say.
Yeah.
So,
for example, if I can explain a very minor example on that. For example, in big companies like Google or Yahoo or Amazon, they have 2 or 3 reviewers, which their work is just reviewing stuff. So when a developer wants to merge something to master and deploy some sort of code in the repository he's working on, then he's obligated to have 2 or 3 approvals by 2 or 3 different set of eyes. So they are totally sure that the code works there, which is very important for that, and that's why you need to learn it.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's it.
We hope this video will help you, and thank you very much, Dimitris. And
thanks a lot, guys. I'm really happy to be here with you. I'm really glad.
Okay. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.